Welcome to Work from the Inside Out, a podcast that highlights real-life stories, practical strategies, and best practices for transitioning your career from unhappiness and dissatisfaction to fulfillment, meaning, and joy. Now here is your host, career and executive coach, Tammy Guler-Loeb.
Hey everybody, I am so excited to introduce my guest today, Manbir Kaur. Manbir is an executive and leadership coach. She is also a conversational intelligence enhanced practitioner, positive intelligence coach, an author, and a keynote speaker. She specializes in coaching leaders from technology organizations. Manbir helps leaders and entrepreneurs to align themselves and their teams to the strategic goals, unleash their own and their team's potential. Over years, she has developed specific frameworks to help organizations and leaders achieve success in the most effective way. Her frameworks make coaching progress measurable, and she believes in creating value for her clients in every engagement. Her clients include executives from various technology companies from India, the UK, the US, and the Middle East. She's also the author of 2 books. The first one is Are You the Leader You Want to Be? Her book combines various principles, studies, and practices to present a path-breaking, no-fluff, 5-part framework called Human, which helps engage your teams in a human way. Her second book is called Get Your Next Promotion, which helps mid to senior professionals create their path to C-suite roles. Manbir has more than 2 decades of work experience. Prior to being a coach, she has worked in the corporate world for various Indian and multinational IT companies in roles such as development, operations, pre-sales, people management, and consulting. This work experience enables her to relate to her clients in a more immersive way. Please join me in welcoming Manbir Kaur. So Manbir, as you know, work from the inside out. It's all about the journey that we've taken in our careers, all the twists, the turns, where we began, how we got to where we are today. So take us back to some of the earlier years, perhaps some of your formative years. Take us back to however earlier you want to go and tell us about your journey.
Hey, Tammy. First of all, glad to be here with you. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, happy to have you.
Yes, going back, rewinding the reel in my mind, I'll take you back to my childhood. And I would say my being is quite influenced by my dad. And I have always seen my dad being an action-oriented, very focused kind of a person, very hardworking and very positive, optimistic person. So, that's very important part of my insight. So I thought, I'll start with that. Who I am, my beliefs, my good beliefs, not so good beliefs, everything I would say is kind of, influenced by his persona. And, he has been my hero of my life actually all through till now. So that's how, the journey starts. And, I had been a hardworking student, one of those good students, and life goes on. And I completed my computer application graduation in one of the cities in India. And then I wanted to do the post-graduation part. And, I belong to the tier 2, tier B kind of a city in India. And
what does that mean? Tell us what that means. Many of us listening won't know what that is.
Yeah. So it's like, right now I'm in a metro city. I stay in metro. I have, I have worked in metro. But at that time, my parents don't stay in a metropolitan city of India. So it was like a normal kind of a city, an urban area. Good city, but it's not the metro. So the cultural difference or the knowledge at that point of time, there was a huge gap because it was not that globalized and that kind of a thing. So I didn't have that exposure to what kind of career options are available. So it was like, a lot of influence and a lot of guidance by my dad, whatever he thought is the best I did, And I used to follow him a lot.
Yeah.
I never resisted that relationship. That's the most important thing. And I did my computer application, and then I wanted to go for my post grad, but I got an opportunity from campus to work in a bank. And again, my dad came and told me that after doing a post graduation, also you will have this kind of job only. So this is the right moment. Go and grab the job and make your career. Okay, decision one taken. But because
So
I
was
compute,
that,
yeah,
I just want to make sure I get this right. So post graduation, is that university post?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So just to interject, what kind of work did your dad do?
He was also a banker.
Oh, he was a banker. Okay.
Yeah, he was
So
a banker.
all right, just
Yeah,
curious
yeah,
about that. And so
yeah.
you did not grow up in the city, is that correct?
I grew up in a small city.
In a small city. So
Small city.
so part of moving your education forward, you went to, if I'm getting this right, you went to a university in a larger city? Was
No,
that?
I
Oh no.
same
Okay.
city. I did the undergrad from the same city.
Okay.
And
Undergrad.
I
Okay.
wanted to move. Yeah, I wanted to move to a different city for my grad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. And then and at the same time I got this opportunity also. So so my dad kind of influenced me that this is the right opportunity. And other intention was my mom didn't want me to send to another city because
Uh,
she was like scared of sending. I'm the eldest child, and she was scared that you will stay alone and anything can happen, or she was very
oh,
scary.
yeah.
So she didn't want me to go there. And I happened to join this job. And Tammy, I started working after undergrad when I was 19. So I did my undergrad very early, very early.
Oh,
I was a super
you were
fast child.
done at 19 with your undergrad.
Yes,
And then you
yes.
wanted to move to a bigger city at
Yeah, yeah,
19.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
no wonder your mom was scared. Okay.
Yeah, my mom was not not very confident. She was not. She didn't want me to move anyways.
I know
So
that feeling. I have to tell you, I this is kind of silly, but when my my daughter went to university right here in Boston,
mm-hmm,
okay, 20
mm-hmm.
from my house, and she
Okay.
ended up at Boston University, right in town here, 20 minutes from my house. Now I live in the suburbs, and even I was a little nervous about her going on to a more of a city campus.
Oh
And
my
I mean,
God.
and she was 20 minutes from me. And my husband's office happened to be right on the BU campus because his company rented space from BU. So, and even so, I was nervous about her being a student on a city campus. So I kind of understand how your mom felt.
Oh my God.
So go
Yeah.
ahead.
So that's how I started my first job. And so it was 19, all excited, started earning. You know how it is, right? Young age, you
Yeah.
start
Now
earning.
were you on the younger? So I'm curious what you were doing for the bank, but also you must have been, your peers at the bank must have been in general a little older than you.
Yeah.
So there you were, a young woman in India working in a bank in a, I guess, a professional role. Um, and you were probably a few years younger than some of the other people working there.
Yeah. Yep.
So
And
what
there's
was
another
that
angle
like?
to it. There's another angle to it. You
Okay.
know, I didn't know anything about banking because I
Oh,
was a computer application undergrad. I didn't
oh,
come from commerce or business background. No, I didn't have
okay.
that qualification. So it's like day zero, and you check in, and it was a new branch basically. And in the retail banking, branch banking in those days, the situation was like cash counting was not a very amicable job to do, not
Uh,
very wanted job to do. So they gave me the cash to count. I'm like, what? I don't know what to do. So it was a very different experience. I think age was on my side, spirit was on my side.
Mm,
A learning and hardworking attitude was on my side. I started from scratch, learning about retail banking from my peers,
yeah.
and I really did good job, I guess. So I won't deny that. And enjoyed thoroughly that role basically. So
You
yeah,
did.
it was all fun. Yeah, it was all fun. And it was like, very hard days from, because those days banking was not that automated. Now everything is automated, right? So we
Yeah.
had to stay back and log those entries in the computer, and it was long day. It used to be a long day every day, from 9:30 a.m. in the morning to maybe 10 p.m. in the night, something like that. So
Really?
oh yeah, I have worked very
Well,
hard in those days.
that's where
Learned,
being 19 probably came in really handy, right?
oh yeah. So yeah, that's how the first job was, Tammy. And when I'm saying
And
that, I
so
guess
your background in computer application really had no application in that job, right?
no, 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 not at all, not at all, not at all. Actually speaking, yeah. So, but
Wow.
but there is a story. There's the next part of story where my computer
Okay.
application helps. So then I got married and transferred to this metro city where I am right now. It's a capital of India, Delhi. So I'm in the suburb which is called Gurugram, which is the suburb to Delhi. So I moved to Delhi. I got transferred to the branch here because it was retail banking, and this was national bank. It was very easy to get transferred on the reason of being married. So
Hmm.
I got transferred here, and then there was a cultural shock to me because I grew up in a small city. I was a small city girl, and I come to a huge metro city. Like, you can imagine somebody going from countryside to New York, right?
Yeah,
It's a huge
definitely.
so it's kind of a New York for us. So it's a huge cultural shock for me. So my dressing sense was very different. It was not that corporatish kind of a thing, because I come from a small city, and my accent, my way of speaking, my presence, my executive presence, I guess, everything was a shock to me. I was
Wow.
like, okay, what to do? So that was another angle in my life when I got transferred here.
And so how old were you at that point?
Hmm. 23.
Okay. So you were
Hmm.
still on the young side, but at that point you were a
Yeah.
married woman.
Yeah.
You have a few, several years under your belt now,
Yeah.
and you're transferred. What kind of role were you in at that point?
So I was similarly into retail banking operations, and
Okay.
I was due for promotion, for a big promotion, I would say, that year. But I got it, but that took time, because my branch was changed, the whole cultural thing and all that. I took time to adjust. I got promoted, but it was little delayed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So,
So what was that like, the adjustment?
hmm. So in the initial days, I guess, it was like a failure, feeling of a
Hmm.
failure to me, because I come from a family of hardworking people, right? I was
Yeah.
ready to work hard, but I didn't know how to talk in that, in that good language, or goody goody language, how to be politically correct. I was very upfront, that those corporate things, which I was I was
Ah.
I was big time missing on, and even my dressing sense, I would say. So even that I saw that, when I reflect back, that also had a huge impact. And I mean, reflecting back, I guess, people took time to accept me. When I'm saying people, I'm saying my colleagues there. They took
Right.
time to accept me because they saw me as somebody who has not come from that metro, and who is maybe below their status. You know what I'm saying?
Oh. Yeah.
Kind of. So it took me a while to kind of grew into that image, and changed everything for me. it took me a while. Again, it was work plus working on my demeanor also, right?
Right.
It's multiple things, and there was no formal training on it. It was whatever
Right.
I'm picking, it's like whatever I'm seeing other people, watching other people, observing other people, learning, so that's how it
So
was.
you were figuring this all out on your own, or was there anybody kind of giving you a little guidance or sort of calling things to your attention? Or like, were you aware at the time what was going on?
To your first question, no, there was nobody. And the way I'm articulating right now, I think I mean, if I go those years back, and I would not have articulated this clearly.
Yeah.
But there was a feeling of being failed. There was a feeling of rejection for sure.
Oh,
That was for
wow.
sure. But
Yeah.
again, my nature of being optimistic and a
Yes.
go-getter, that's my
Yeah.
attitude.
Yeah.
That attitude is my DNA, Danny.
Yeah.
I would try my best in that situation to see what can I do here? What can I do here? How can I
Mm.
improve things here? How can I improve things here? So that goes automatically.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that
So
is
that,
what helped me there also.
yeah. So that really carried you through. Would you
Yeah, yeah,
say,
yeah.
not to jump too far ahead here, but would you say that that experience really helped to inform your most recent book?
Um, I won't say exactly that experience, but yeah, everything I learned from there, I guess, has helped me build who I am, Tammy,
Yeah.
if I put it that way. And
Sure.
of course, that experience is also a good part of my learning and being.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Sure. Sure.
yeah.
Sure.
That's how I circle it
Yeah.
back.
Yeah. So once you made those adjustments and you got the promotion, how long did that take to kind of find your way through that?
Approximately a year.
Oh, that's a reasonable amount of time.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
actually pretty good. I mean, some people might have taken even longer. Some people might have even left the bank,
yeah, yeah.
depending on how they
Absolutely.
handled it. But it sounds
Yeah.
like you have this thread of positivity from your dad too. I can imagine he was a support to you at that time too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I would definitely say that, I did leave the bank.
You
That's
did
the
at that
next,
time,
next,
or
next stage,
oh, next
next
stage.
episode. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So was it
So,
during the time you left the bank or after that?
after a year of, me coming here, there were multiple reasons, because you related this. So I wanted to bring that to your attention. So, I got my child, after 1 year of my marriage, and I was 24 at that point of time, and
Ah,
so that was only one reason, Tammy, that I wanted to give time to him. But I was struggling. I was tired. I was
mm,
tired. I did a lot of things and I achieved a lot of things. But by that time, I guess, I was exhausting fighting with this particular thing and, creating my own place. I
mm.
was fighting for that. And now I can say this. I was
Yeah,
not that aware at that point of time. In hindsight, I'm able to articulate it.
right.
So I guess another reason which pushed me to resign from my job was because I was tired of all this. I was like exhausted. I thought, this is the right excuse to take break.
Yeah, yeah,
you know so those things kind of merged together, and I took break from
yeah.
my career. That was a small, though, I mean, I thought it will be 1 year, but that happened to be not 1 year, because as I told you, I started working at 19, and when I was sitting at home with my child, with my with my in my lap, I was not happy.
Yeah,
I was missing on with my work,
yeah,
because work became my DNA.
yeah,
Performance became my DNA.
yeah.
That happiness when you achieve something was like, and I started losing my own self.
Oh,
So I mean, that was a horrible time. I mean, of course, I had a beautiful child at my lap, and it was time to enjoy. But at the same time, me, Manbir, my being was not happy with who I am. I
mm,
was like, I was feeling dejected in life, that, oh my God, so I'm not working. So I what happened basically was, I guess, I created my identity as work.
Mm-hmm.
That is the big thing. That is the big thing I did that to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you realize that now. At the time, you probably were feeling very kind of perplexed and confused
Yeah.
between
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
role as a mother, your role as
Yeah.
a wife, your role
Yeah.
as a professional, and you had
Yeah.
all these big adjustments. I mean, these are big life adjustments. It sounds like there was a convergence of moving to a large city,
Hmm.
um, starting, in a new environment. Even though you were already an employee of the bank, you were starting really a new culture in the bank,
Absolutely.
and
Yeah.
then somewhere along the way you got pregnant. So
Yeah.
pregnancy itself is can be quite the journey, depending on how smoothly that process goes, right?
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely. And
then
it was a journey, actually.
and it was what?
It was a journey, actually. It was
Yeah.
not very smooth. Yeah.
Okay. So then
Yeah.
on top of that, who knows what impact that has on how you're feeling at work if you're
Yeah.
at work every day and you're not feeling 100%.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so all of those things. I mean, it just occurs to me as you're talking about, even like dressing for work, right? In the big city,
Yeah.
I'm thinking you're dressing for work and you're pregnant too. So, you know, the fashion statements people make, at least, I know it now. Today's clothes may be a little different, but I know, well, I was pregnant 26 years ago. The clothes that were available were pretty ugly, I think. But
I know.
so
Absolutely.
so like how do you, dress have that professional presence when your body is changing, your hormones are raging,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you're used to being a positive go-getter, and for the most part it sounds like you've had nothing but, very high achieving positive experiences in your life, and for the first time in your life something is feeling a little clunky, and it's just you're not being received by other people in the way you're used to being received,
Yeah.
and you're
Yeah.
not getting the feedback that you're used to getting.
Yeah.
So, and you're taking on a whole new job, mother, you know.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
uh, you know, I know most people, and when most people reach the age of 24, they're having an identity crisis, regardless of what they're doing in their lives. So
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
makes perfect sense that was a bit of a rocky road for you.
Absolutely. There's a huge identity crisis, I guess. Especially when I left my job, I was like, I'm nobody. And I don't want only mother as an identity. I mean,
Right.
that's my thinking. That's my thinking 20 years back, Tammy.
Yeah.
I love my kid, of course. I
Oh,
loved
yeah.
everything. But at the same time, I was like, no, that cannot be the only identity I carry.
Yeah.
So I need my profession back. So that's what I was saying. Then computer application journey again started, and I enrolled for post graduation. I mean, in your language, it will be graduation program.
Mm-hmm.
So graduation degree for my computer application thing, and it was a combination of weekend classes and online program.
Oh.
So yeah, so I said I need to do something with my life, and I started that when my son was I think 4 months or so.
Oh, wow. So you
Yeah,
decided
yeah.
pretty quickly.
I decided because those were the days, I think hormonal plus my identity crisis plus whatever was happening, it really made me feel dejected. And again, the spirit of taking ownership of my own life and
Yeah.
doing something about it really helped me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And of course, my husband was a strong support system and he supported in whatever I wanted to do. But it was, my decision that, I would leave him in daycare for a couple of hours and
Yeah.
I would join the college back.
Mm-hmm.
And though it was part-time combination of weekend, classes plus online, but yeah, I started that journey. Yeah. And within 1 year or within even 8, 9 months of, having my child, I joined a job which was
Oh.
in technology company. So that's where my technology company experience starts. Now, for that technology company, see, few things happen in your life for a reason, right?
Yeah.
So now, what happens is, I think the best part of my life started there, and they needed a person who has a banking experience with a technology background.
Ah, okay.
Fintech world. That was my entry to the fintech world. So it was a small company which I joined, but yeah, so I was there with that organization for a year, and then we moved to another city. You might have heard about that, Mumbai, which is
Oh,
financial
I
capital
think
of
I have
India.
heard of that place. Yes.
Yeah. So Mumbai is the financial capital of India, and we as a family moved there. And I got another very good opportunity for opportunity in a fintech organization.
Ah,
And so by the time I was all gelled with and happy with the metro culture and everything, I was going along with the flow, and I had some very good and of course little bad bosses also, but very good human beings on that, and it's very supporting human beings, I would say, colleagues, peers, bosses in that journey, and they really helped me to develop who I am today. So
ah,
and then I stayed in fintech world for a long time before I call it quit and started on my executive coaching business.
ah. So, um, yeah. So things really, so once you got back into the world of work, you
Yeah,
really felt like you were getting back to yourself, it sounds like.
yeah.
So the rough patch there sounds like it was an adjustment. It was a rough patch. It wasn't like a huge blown out crisis. Um,
Yeah, yeah. As as a mother, if you are a corporate professional, also there are always patches where you feel guilty, where you feel bad.
oh,
You feel like
oh,
resigning. Every other day, you feel like
yes.
resigning, right? It's like
Oh,
that always happened. But
yes.
my identity was not compromised, frankly speaking.
Right,
I
right.
was very happy as a professional.
Yeah,
Very, very happy as a professional.
you found your way back to yourself in a
Yes.
reasonable period of time. You also had a spouse who was very supportive, that there weren't, a lot of heavy expectations on you
No. No.
to
No. No. Yeah.
fit a whole new role and compromise that. I'm curious about the graduate program that you did. Were you still in the middle of that when you got that job going back? Were you still, was that a degree granting program that you did?
Yeah, yeah.
It
It was a
was.
three-year degree, and I completed that. And I was in that program when I accepted for my first fintech job. And yeah, so I completed that, and I did another degree after that, actually speaking.
Okay. Well, we are an underachiever, aren't we?
No.
So you had a young child, you were working full time and finishing the graduate degree.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Thank goodness you had a supportive spouse. Well, no, and
High
that's a
achiever
lot.
in me.
That's a lot to do. I mean, and I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
saying that to you because you're a woman. I think that would sound very sexist.
Mhm.
Um, but I think that's a lot to do, regardless.
Yeah, yeah,
For anyone, that's a lot to
yeah,
take on. I know
yeah.
that when my daughter was a toddler, my husband went to school part time at night to get his master's while he was working full time, and I remember, that being, you know, that was about as much as anyone could expect anyone to do. It was a lot, and
Yeah,
it took a few years to get through that.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
um, so when you moved to Mumbai, though, were you still in that other program?
That was I was going through my first program. I was finishing up the first
You
one.
were. So you did it from
Yeah, yeah,
Mumbai then.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
then,
It was
ah,
transferable. Yeah, yeah,
okay.
yeah,
So you
yeah.
switched. So you switched jobs a couple of times, and
Yes.
then you were really in a good place. You finished your graduate degree. You were in Mumbai. You had good
Yeah.
colleagues, a good boss. You were working in fintech.
Yeah.
And then somewhere along the way, you got another. What made you get another degree?
So I guess I was, I got roles which was combination of business and technology roles, but heavy on business, product
Ah,
management, project management. So I wanted to, in nutshell, I wanted to get on higher ranks, actually speaking. So I thought a business degree will help.
uh-huh,
I wanted to learn about business and all that. So I did my executive MBA, executive
uh-huh.
business administration, from one of the very good colleges in India. It
Mm-hmm.
was again a combination of weekend classes and online programs.
Yep.
So that was the combination I opted for, and that was a kind of 14 months program which I did.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. So
great.
there was another thing, Tammy, when I'm saying that my neuro
Yes.
connections are firing up, and I think another reason why I this program was, somewhere in my mind, I always wanted to do some kind of education from that kind of a brand Ivy League type of a college,
Mm.
and this college is India's Ivy League.
Aha.
So I
Okay.
think that was another, fire in the belly
Yeah.
that I want to have that name in my CV. Whether
Uh-huh.
it's executive program, if I can't go for full time, let me go for executive programs. So
Yeah.
that was another reason. Yeah,
Okay. So that was something that was in the back of your mind for
yeah,
a long, long time.
yeah.
Yeah.
Somewhere that was there for
So
sure.
you had that vision.
Yeah.
So you did that while you were in that same, was it that same fintech organization, or had you moved to a different one, or?
I had moved to a different place and different city by that time. Yeah,
Oh, okay. A different
mm,
city. Okay.
yeah.
So these moves to different cities, what was propelling those moves?
It was combination of my husband's and my job. So
Okay.
we always had that kind of arrangement that I will stay close to we will stay close to my office.
Mm-hmm.
So wherever I am working on, because he had been to traveling jobs since last more than a decade now. So he travels a lot. So I guess that was the arrangement, and I think some of the travel happened because of his job. Some of the travel, I mean shifting, not travel. Some of the shifting happened because of his job, and some of the shifting happened because of my work. So it was
I see.
combination. Yeah, yeah.
I see.
And we are like, as a family, we are very open to moving cities, moving from one place. We were very open, I rather.
Yeah. Yeah.
So till the time, our son was in that kind of a grade that where we thought movement is not a good idea now, because
Yeah.
he's coming to senior grades. But
Right.
otherwise we have been very flexible on those
Yeah.
movements if there's a
Yeah.
good opportunity. Yeah.
Yeah. So how long were you in Mumbai for?
Around 4 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then where did you move to from there?
We came back to this place where I am right now, Gurugram,
Uh-huh.
and then moved to place another side of another suburb of NCR region, Delhi region. It's called Noida.
Uh-huh.
Again, came back here. So
Uh-huh.
that's the last one.
Okay.
So yeah.
So so tell us more. Tell us more about how where things shifted for you, that you
Hmm.
moved into executive coaching. What propelled you into that arena?
Yeah. In my last job in a fintech company, I was exposed to setting up a department, working for a department called Banking Center of Excellence, where, I got exposed to human behaviors, human competences, how people grow from one competency to another. So there are a lot of, that exposure to that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that kind of intrigued me. I
Ah.
was, I think that gave me an opportunity to connect dots inside me,
Hmm.
because I was always exposed to the business side. I was never exposed to, as a professional, never exposed to the behavioral side. This was my
Ah.
first exposure, and there was a desire to do something of my own.
Hmm.
Both these things came together, and I
Hmm.
thought, let me do something for on human behaviors. And I also see that, I think articulating it in hindsight, in the right words would be that, I saw, including myself, I saw people wanted to be good leaders. People wanted to do good work, but many of them were not able to create that impact. Many of them were not able to engage their teams in the right way. And the intent was there,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
impact was not there. So there was a gap. And that gap majorly was human side of the business, not the other side of the business. So I thought, I wanted to do something on that particular thing. And I think, at that point of time, financially also, we were quite stable enough that I can leave the job and, my husband can support the family. So, we were in good space. So I took the plunge and started on, I didn't know what coaching is at that point of time. I thought I want to do something on my own. And in this human behaviors, I did a lot of research. I spoke to people, and I did a couple of programs here and there, finding out, what's happening inside me. What is it I want to work on? Then coaching just came on one of the Google searches, and I got intrigued and dig deeper. Spoke to people, tried to understand. Did my first executive coaching program, and started slowly and setting up a entrepreneurship, setting up a business coming from the mentality of being a corporate professional go-getter was not easy, Tammy.
Yeah.
In the culture I am, so it was not very easy for a woman to set up a business and work on my own. I guess I had lots and lots of failures before I started, tasting success for myself as an executive coach.
So I want to go back for a moment when you said that when you first left corporate,
Yeah.
you did some workshops. Were those workshops to kind of uncover some things within yourself to figure out where you were going, or were those educational in terms of learning more about the human side of business?
So it was mostly educational.
Okay.
Okay. I was trying to understand, what is a language? What are people talking about?
Okay. All right. But you knew enough to know almost what you didn't know. So you went out to learn more about that. And then you went and got the executive coaching and got that training. And then when you say it was difficult to start the business, really to move the business forward, and that there were failures, what made it difficult when you say it was in your culture? Was it that there weren't a lot of those kinds of businesses there, or what made it difficult? I mean, I think there are a lot of different reasons why coaches have difficulty getting a business like that off the ground in a variety of cultures, but I'm curious what made it difficult for you.
Good question. So number one, when I started in 2011, coaching was not a buzzword as now.
Yes.
People didn't know what coaching is. Yeah. I found it interesting and I started doing it. And the go-getter in me will find some optimistic ray of hope and start working on it. But real clients were missing. Real paying clients were missing. Reason number one. Reason number two, I thought that I'm good at my work and that's the only thing I need to know. I didn't know ABC or anything about marketing, about sales. I still do hesitate. From that particular thing, but I'm just bringing that to the table. That and there was not a desire to learn also of sales and marketing because I hated that word sales. Yeah. Point number two.
You're not alone in that. A lot of coaches feel that way.
Yes. And the three is, when I used to engage with people for meetings and all that, and as a woman, when you transition from a corporate professional to an entrepreneur and having a, teenage or before teenage, a pre-teenage kind of a kid, people don't take you seriously. People thought you're passing time. People thought that you're doing this as a hobby. Well,
Yes.
I was there for some serious business, Tammy. I was
Yes.
very sure about that.
Yes.
But many people gave me, because there were a lot of men in the industry, and I need to speak to, and I had to engage with. Everybody gave me an impression that I'm doing it like 4 5 hours a day, and when kid in the school, and that kind of and I'm not very serious about these big things I'm talking about. And yeah, so that was another difficult thing. You kind of and because you also get mature with age, right? I think I was not mature enough to handle that in a mature way. Internally, I was again trying to prove again and again, no, I'm serious, I'm serious, I'm serious, right?
Right.
you know yeah.
Yeah.
So those are the reason I can cite.
Yeah. So, what was a turning point for you?
Good question. So I think I had been adamant to for many years that sales is not my forte. I'm not going to work on that.
Yeah.
And I won't say there was one pivot point.
Yeah.
I guess it was a slow learning curve,
Mm.
very slow learning curve. And another thing, when I'm saying that is, I did my second executive coaching certification from Center of Executive Coaching,
Mm-hmm.
which is run by Andrew Nitlick. He mentored me, he coached me, and I guess I could say that that was a trigger point, definitely the
Yeah.
point where I started thinking on pivoting, because he he was very good in making me realize that these are the other things you need to do if you want to run a business. I give a
Yes.
lot of credit to him for shift in my thinking as an
Yeah.
entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I know. I got my certification 20 years ago, and I can tell you that the attention that was paid to the business side of coaching was minimal
Hmm.
back
Yeah.
then.
Yeah.
And it existed, but it was minimal. And
Yeah.
I think it is something that a lot of people struggle with, because coaching is it's not, it doesn't, it's always hard to sort of talk about concrete, or, the specific, outcomes or deliverables
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
from coaching, at
Yeah.
least in the immediate sense. And people can't have a hard time getting their minds around that. And
Absolutely.
so it's, especially when you're a newer coach, it's really challenging, I think, to convey that to
Yeah.
people, and why they should hand over their money to you and pay
Yeah.
you to sit and talk to you.
Yeah. Absolutely.
you
Yeah.
know
Mm-hmm.
um but now here you are, 10 years, 9, 10 years later,
10 years. Yeah.
and you hung in there, you're still doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And two books, you've written two books,
Yes.
and done a whole lot more. So what do you think enabled you? I think I might know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask it anyway. What do you think enabled you to hang in there? I mean, that was another big transition for you, to leave corporate,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
take a chance on yourself,
Yeah.
and to go from what was, a very kind of, concrete kind of career path, to a much, I hate the word soft, but a let's say a less tangible career path,
Yeah. Yeah.
and something clearly you believed in, and you hung in
Yeah.
there, and you've built your empire now.
Yeah. I'm very happy about where I am, and blessed, and I guess thankful to all the people who have supported me on this journey. Answering your question, I guess it definitely starts from the mindset I had. I might have better words to articulate, but it was always there.
Hmm.
So I call it growth mindset.
The growth
So it's,
mindset. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, where you are learning, where you are open for feedback, you're
Hmm.
not rigid,
Hmm.
where you have curiosity about yourself more than
Yes.
anything else. I guess, curiosity about myself, Tammy, it stays forever with me. and that agility. They're all combinations. They are all, they are all ingredients of a growth mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess, I have been blessed to acquire some of it from my dad. So, I used to call it optimism. And then, I think I have better words, vocabulary now from coaching standpoint. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's what it is. And of course, I can't deny that my family support, especially my partner support, I guess that has been really, really, a great advantage for me,
Mm-hmm.
because when you shift to an entrepreneur thing, I think you work very hard, and by
Yes.
end of the month you have the kind of expect paycheck, you some
Yeah.
money magically getting transferred to your
Yeah.
account.
Magically, right?
Magically, yeah. But that didn't happen for maybe months, and some time for a year. So it took a while. I never deny on that. It took a while for me to establish a name for myself.
Yeah.
And he has been really a great sport, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
And he's not listening to it, huh?
well, maybe he will.
Yeah.
um,
I'll make him listen.
yes, please do. So you mentioned, growth mindset. You mentioned curiosity and
Mhm.
agility, both
Mhm.
being important ingredients to a growth
Yeah.
mindset. Is there
Yeah.
anything else you'd put in that recipe?
Yeah, I guess one of the other traits, I have is good focus and time management.
Focus and time management.
And I think that's very important when you are an entrepreneur and a mother. Very
Yeah.
important.
Yeah.
Your priorities, you're prioritizing the, I think, from priority standpoint, also, I had been very clear from the day one that how to balance, how to integrate rather my work and life, not to balance.
Right.
So, and yeah, I have spent good time with my son. That
Yeah.
is, that is the best part of being an entrepreneur, that you can be flexible. Of course, you
Yes.
have to, you have to compromise on the ROI on it, because that's investment which is not tangible.
Yes.
So, but at the same time, that satisfaction that I have spent those precious time with him, that's where I'm bringing that focus and prioritizing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's those are all very important things,
Yeah.
for some peace and sanity in our lives.
Yes. I would concur with that wholeheartedly as a parent, that
Yeah,
it does afford you that opportunity
yeah,
to really make some choices and set priorities in different ways.
yeah, yeah.
For sure. So tell us about your coaching practice and the books you've written, and what made you decide to write books.
Yeah. So, as you know, I practice as an executive and leadership coach, and my niche is working with tech leaders and tech CEOs. I help tech leaders to be more human in their leadership behaviors and engage their teams to have really, really very good results from business standpoint, from the number standpoint, also from the engagement and trust, and create that kind of safety culture. So that's who I am and what I do. I wrote my first book. You know, with an intention to to the framework I had was a human leadership framework. I have a framework called in the name of human leadership framework. So the intention was to take this framework to the larger audience, because my clients to whom I was working on this particular framework was feeling that this is very simple framework, and they were really, really getting results. So this
Mm-hmm.
is called human leadership, and human leadership is five parts. H is for heeding yourself. U is understanding your team. M is messaging. A is acknowledging, and is nurturing. So
Nice.
again, it comes from that particular intention. Tammy, as I said, people have the intention to do good,
Right.
but impact. So I wanted to bridge this gap, and I called it human leadership framework. And so that was the intention of my first book. And yeah, I got a good response, and my book was nominated as one of the five best business books in 2019 in India in one of the awards, business book awards. And my second book is Get Your Next Promotion. So, I have been working with the executives and leadership teams now for years. And one thing I realized that they struggle to get good leadership pipeline. That
Yeah.
is one of the major struggles.
Yeah.
And other side of the story is there are people at mid-level and above who have a dream, who have an aspiration, have
Yes.
an intention
Yeah.
to grow into C-suite roles, okay,
Yes.
C-suite roles and leadership roles, but they are not able to do that. And
Yeah.
there is a gap.
Yes, there
So
is.
the executives are looking for people who can take up their roles, and what they see is subject matter experts, and they don't have that kind of executive presence and that kind of leadership skills.
Right.
And here are bunch of people who are really looking forward to grow into those roles, but they don't know where to go.
Right.
So this book, Get Your Next Promotion, is was written basically to bridge that gap, to
Yeah.
help organizations create a healthy leadership pipeline and helping mid-level executives to help them grow to those leadership roles.
Mm-hmm.
And this book is not only my perspective. This book has stories of 10 international leaders, 10
Mm.
CXOs basically. So there are a few MDs, few CTO, CEO, CFO. So, I've
Mm-hmm.
tried to cover multiple people here, 10 leaders basically. So it's their stories. All 10 elements and 10 stories are there in the book. So
And
that's how the book is written.
it sounds like it takes on people in different disciplines too. So it's
Yeah,
not, while a lot of the people that you profile are people with a variety of technical expertise, they're not all necessarily information technology people,
no.
right?
No, no. There is somebody from pharma industry. There is
Yeah.
somebody from automotive, Maruti.
Mm-hmm.
So so there are people from multiple industries because
Yeah.
I wanted to bring multiple perspectives here.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great. Um, I love it, love it, love it. And so that book really is could be helpful to anybody who is looking to advance themselves and is looking
Yes,
for more insight and perspectives in terms of how to get there.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
and in a tangible way.
Yeah.
It's not like philosophical way. It's like what is the next step you can take? What is the
Right.
next step?
Right. Yeah. And I think that people, I know I talk to people all the time who are trying to figure that out. I think in particular, I've found that people who do work in information technology
Yeah,
really do struggle with that. I think a lot of people do for a whole variety
yeah,
of reasons, but particularly in IT, because
yeah,
if they get promoted to management and they have no management training or management skills or people skills
yeah,
for that matter,
yeah.
they're the only place to go up is a place that requires a whole skill set they haven't been trained in or may not have
Absolutely.
naturally. Some
No,
people
no.
can very naturally move up into a management role and can
Yeah,
assimilate into
yeah,
that. But there's a whole group of people who are tremendously talented in highly technical areas, and yet
yeah.
you put them into a management role and it's like they're a fish out of water.
Yep,
And
yep, that's what.
those are folks who sometimes end up knocking on my door, and I wonder sometimes, how can they best advance themselves without
Yeah,
being set up for failure.
yeah,
I would
yeah,
imagine that you
that's
work
right.
with a lot of people who end up in that situation.
Yes, I do work with a lot of people like this, and most of them come from subject matter expertise background, and they are very good, very hardworking in
Yeah.
their domains. Yeah,
Yeah.
but when it comes to having those, human to human connections, conversation, I call it human conversations. So human is my best word, I guess.
Yeah.
So they have the intention, but they're not able to create the impact.
Yeah.
So that's where I think we coaches can really help them.
Yeah. 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 There's a lot of different avenues to take there.
Yeah, yeah.
So this has been great. This has
Loved
been
it.
great. Is there anything else that you want people to know about? I mean, we will have everything in the show notes about your books and the work that you're doing, but is there anything else that we haven't touched on today that you'd want people to know about, or a key piece of advice that you would leave people with about if they're trying to think about a transition, or a key piece of advice about trying to get their next promotion?
Yeah. So I think things are simpler than we think, actually
Mm-hmm.
speaking.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say if it's about your next promotion, set your goals, which is very important. And those goals should be your own goals. It should not be driven from a friend, a peer, an organization, those kind of things. And most of the times when I sit with my clients, even at the senior levels, those goals are not their goals. So I think the key piece here is, whose goal are you chasing? So
Mm.
that's very important. If I would have to leave one thing, of course there are other things. You have to be agile, you have to have growth mindset, you have to have a personal brand, relationships, have to have good connecting conversation where you can create that a we kind of a culture, not
Mm-hmm.
I. People can trust you. All these things will happen if you align to your goal
Yeah.
and set your path accordingly. If that goal is not yours, you'll keep blaming others, you'll keep complaining, and the journey will not be your own journey, and it'll not be fun. And fun is in the journey, not in the destination.
I love it. And that is definitely at the root of work from the inside out. No doubt about it. So that was a great closing thought. So Manbir, thank you so much for being here today. This was delightful, and it was so interesting to hear about your journey. And thank you for generously sharing your story today.
Thank you, Tammy. It was really a pleasure being here. Thank you so much.
I hope you enjoyed my interview with Manbir Kaur. It was so interesting to speak with her and learn all about her professional journey. What is your key takeaway from our interview? If you are interested in any of the resources or links mentioned in today's podcast, you can find them on my blog page at www.tammygoolerloeb.com. Just look for episode 121. Are you thinking about what your next professional move is going to be? Perhaps you're feeling a little stuck. Get specialized group and individualized support, insights, and accountability from a brilliant mix of professional women in a safe, non-judgmental creative space. Join one of my small hybrid mastermind coaching groups. They're starting on a rolling basis. You can learn more at https://bit.ly/navigating career change. If you were inspired by this episode with Manbir, please share it with your friends and colleagues, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss next week's show. Remember, subscribing is always free. Are you enjoying the podcast? I'd appreciate your review on Apple Podcasts. It's easy to find through my website at www.tammygoolerloeb.com/podcast. Just click on the Apple Podcasts button and follow the instructions provided there. Thanks so much for listening. And remember, it's never too late or too impossible to increase your sense of fulfillment and satisfaction in your work and other meaningful activities. I'd love to hear how it's going for you. Feel free to drop me a line. Bye for now.
Thank you for listening to the Work from the Inside Out podcast. For more information, you can find us at www.workfromtheinsideout.com.